We got a rotten swamp maple here, and a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, we had a storm come through and it ripped 2 leaders off of it. So it's right on a property line, so we're gonna pick from here and land on the other property.
Hello everybody, it's been a while, and welcome back to another Middlesex tree video. Today, we're gonna be in Clinton, Connecticut, banging out 3 jobs, all in a day's work. The first job here is for a repeat customer, and we've done multiple visits to this house. Today, we're just getting rid of this simple birch tree in the corner of the property. This is a very easy removal for us that will take us less than an hour. It's been somewhat of a hot and wet summer all at the same time here in Connecticut. It seems as if it's either 90 degrees one day and raining the next. For the past month or so, we've been using the original wood chipper to Middlesex tree. Derek sold this to a friend years back, but our chipper has been down and out, so we've been using this one in the meantime. Now, let's head over to our second job of the day, where this nasty swamp maple has seen its better day. You can see clearly that there are 2 big leaders that have recently fallen off this tree. Let's get a word from Derek.
We got a rotten swamp maple here, and a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, we had a storm come through and it ripped 2 leaders off of it. So it's right on a property line, so we're gonna pick from here and land on the other property. And we're collaborating with Howard Tree today. And we got Uncle Brucey here on the picking, on the hook.
Not only did this tree fall down to the ground, but it also fell on the neighbor's fence and miraculously only broke a few boards. We've got all hands on deck for this job, so let's get rocking. Bruce is going to set up the crane at one house, and we're going to be dropping the leaders off at the neighbor's property. Here are the 2 property owners having a chat. The man in the red shirt was telling me he has lived at this house on the left for 61 years. We've got James Howard and his crew with us today. Take a look at his chip truck setup. Now that thing is going to do some damage.
I'm clear. You could pull it up a little bit if you got it. Oh yeah, you were tangled. Couldn't even see that. Yep.
This shot right here will give you a good idea on our setup this afternoon. We're going to be dropping the branches of this swamp maple here, and then Willie is going to use the dingo to pull them up the hill onto the road and get them into the chip truck.
How much should I trust that piece where we're tied? I'll just give you a small piece.
The man who was telling me that he had lived in the house for 61 years had also told me that he used to love to sit under this swamp maple in the corner of the property. It was a very shady area until around 11 o'clock in the morning, so when he was working on his garden, he would go sit under it and take a break. Boy, is he lucky he was not sitting under there when those branches came down.
Give it a pick. Toss me a longer strap when you get a chance. It's just that one chunk of wood that we took the butt from that pick that we took. He said you could lower it.
Boy, is this thing a monster or what? I can't take my eyes off it. This is a Bandit Model 280 XP. Here comes the last leader of the day. It's a relief to get all of these down on the ground with no unexpected issues. Trees this brittle can do anything once you start to chop them up and start pulling on them with the crane.
Look at that nice rigging job, man. God, dude, he learned from the guy who knew how to rig, and he was paying attention. Can you see that chunk of wood? It fattens up, but I know it's got a bunch of rot. This is rotten and it goes in. There's a hole there. I don't see them connecting. This guy taught me, man. That guy builds his own cranes and everything, dude. You should see that guy. You'd be impressed with this guy, I'm telling you.
Now, Bruce is going to head over and rig up this leader that fell onto the fence. He's going to rig this up in a specific way so that one part comes off the fence before the other. After a nice smooth lift, there was no additional damage to this fence, so this neighbor got away easy with just a few broken pieces on this nice cedar. My God, would you take a look at the rot on that tree? I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like it with the boys. After a majority of the ground is cleaned up, it's time to take down the trunk. Willie is going to give this a nice pull with the dingo and drop this bad boy. Look at this tree hit the ground. We've decided we're going to cut up the trunk in 3 separate pieces so that James can lift him into the back of his log truck. Check out the rot on the inside of this tree. Let's get those chunks in the log truck. Check out this setup, a broom on the front of James Howard's rig. This makes for an easy cleanup. One of James' guys is going to head out with the log truck and dump these chunks. James is going to hop on his new windstorm and give a little cleanup of his own.
You can do it.
Did you have fun watching the guys today? All right, thumbs up.
Yay!
How about this before and after? What a relief to both of these homeowners, and what an awesome job by these guys here. We had this all done in 3 hours. Now let's hop in the trucks and head over a few streets in the same town where we're going to be cleaning up this snapped maple tree. The ground is a little bit soft and we've got a little slope to deal with here, so we're going to lay down the mats so we can get the crane and the bucket truck into position in the back of the house. Bruce is going to head in first, followed by Derek. We had to trim up these pine trees on the way in so they wouldn't scrape across the sides of the trucks, and we're going to remove them at the end of the job. So let's get right into it and get this tree out of here. Check out Willie and James having a little fun with the Dingo and the Bobcat MT100. This was quite the chunker right here and took both of these units to lift this piece off the ground. The guys were having a good time with this. Now, let's get the last part of this tree on the ground. I set up the GoPro for this shot and wanted it to bounce around when the trunk hit the piece we had on the ground to soften the landing. Let's get these couple ratty pine trees out of here. Simply one cut, one lift, and one pickup with the Dingo, and these would be done. This chipper was going to swallow these trees whole. There was no need to cut them down. What an awesome day with the guys of Middlesex Tree, James Howard crew, and of course Uncle Bruce. Man, I'd work with these guys any day.